Welcome back to Trauma Recovery Anonymous, the podcast. My name is Richard and I am your host. As mentioned before, the mental health industry, in a study in the National Library of Medicine in North America, admitted that up to 39% of all people diagnosed with mental disorders were misdiagnosed. This means out of 1 billion people, 390 million of those were misdiagnosed. And out of the 290 million children diagnosed with mental disorders between the age of 10 and 19, 120 million of those were misdiagnosed also. This is a shocking crime against humanity and sin against God. It's quite amazing that we don't hear about this in the news, in TV or radio, or in the newspapers. It's like it's been swept under the rugs. I don't know if mental health professionals are informing 39% of their clients that they are not mentally ill, that they don't have mental disorders. But I believe that we need to offer these poor souls a solution to their situation. We know they can no longer stay trapped in this mental illness concept because they don't have a mental illness. They don't have a mental disorder. To continue taking the medication for a condition they don't have is insanity. And they can't step back into the person they were before and how they coped before they came to therapy, because that didn't work either. There has to be some form of Hippocratic Oath, some duty of care to offer these persons a solution different to what they've been laid with. Now, if their best efforts failed them in the past, and if the mental health industry's solution has failed them also, well, it only leaves one solution left, and that's a spiritual solution to heal the hole in their soul. That somewhere in their past there was a trauma event that happened to a younger aspect of them in another lifetime. So, for instance, I'm a 65-year-old man today. What happened in my childhood happened to a 12-year-old child. I carry the memory of what happened to that 12-year-old child, and I carry sympathy pains for the loss of innocence he suffered. But that's the truth. He suffered it, not I. It didn't happen to me because I'm a 65-year-old man. I am not a 12-year-old child. Whatever the trauma is, whatever your diagnosis, 39% of all people diagnosed with mental disorders with PTSD were misdiagnosed. 39% of all people diagnosed with depression were misdiagnosed. 39% of all people diagnosed with bipolar were misdiagnosed. Understand, if you're a veteran, well, the person you are today isn't the younger aspect of you who suffered the trauma. So if you're maybe in your 50s or 60s or 70s today, what happened in that conflict all those years ago didn't happen to you. It happened to the younger aspect of you who enlisted, that 18, 19, 20-year-old version of you who enlisted to go off to fight in a war. That's the person who suffered the loss of innocence. That's the person who endured the horrors of war. You are a survivor today looking back on what happened to that young victim, that young 19-year-old. It didn't happen to you. If it didn't happen to you, you have been misdiagnosed because it's not yours to suffer in the present. This is the truth that will set you free. The program I have created, Trauma Recovery Anonymous, empowers you to give the details and the baggage of the past back to your younger self in a safe and non-intrusive 2-hour event. Once you've given the details and the baggage and that loss of innocence back to your younger self, and you've seen them step into the light and leave this plane of existence, you feel the release in your body mentally, physically, emotionally and spiritually. And in that moment you know the past event is gone from you. If your therapist asks you about the past and how it makes you feel, you find yourself saying, no, it didn't happen to me, it's none of my business. I feel for my younger self, but he's left this plane of existence, he stepped into the light. He's now safely in the mansion prepared for me in our Father's mansion. And I want to now focus on living in the present. And so the second part of this 3-part process is to use up 1 hour embracing the 12-step program of Trauma Recovery Anonymous to create a daily plan for living in the present moment. never to go back into the past where the depression lurks, or into the unknown future where anxiety and fear live, but to focus solely on these 24 hours a day and then bring it down to 8 hours a day, whether it's 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, or 8 hours of play, and then bring it down to this 1 hour right here and right now. How can I be fully present in this moment here and now, neglecting the past, neglecting the future, just focusing on what's in front of me today? My family, my estranged family, my work, my colleagues, my boss, my home, my own health and well-being, my mental health, my emotional health. What can I do? Read a book, do some exercise in the gym. What can I do in this 1 hour to be fully present in this 1 hour? This is the solution that I try to bring to my clients. Now granted, not everybody will embrace my therapy and my practices. And so over the course of my podcast, Trauma Recovery Anonymous, I invite other speakers to come along, people who have worked at creating programs also to help people, to show people how to recover. And by bringing these on and getting them to share their experience. One moment please, sorry, let me find this. One moment. And so I've got the chance to interview quite a number of people who bring on a wonderful concept of how to heal in a more holistic, spiritual way. I have people like Dean Greaves, Dr. Jess Armine, Jeremy Nari, John Graham Harper, John Merkel, Justin Shore, Kate Rizzo, Charisma Veer, Larry Brand, Maria Balanik, Patrick Isles, Tammy Ward, Wesley Farnsworth, Willie Blake, and there's a number of up-and-coming guests also, like William Stevens, David I, Sam Mitt, John Meckel again, Heather Zimmerman, Karen Peters, Donna O'Donoghue, Cynthia from Dream to Rise, Russell von Brocken, Ellen Lubensky, and more to come. Trying to find a solution for you, since you can't stay where you were in a mental disorder community. We don't have a mental disorder, and you can't go back to where you are. We need to find you. Our duty of care to you, the Hippocratic Oath tells us we have to offer you some other solution that might work. And the best thing I can think of is an holistic spiritual solution. For many cases, we talk about claiming our miracles, to cast out our demons, to slay our dragon's past, to break the bondage of the past, the chains and bondage of the past, to be free to live in the present. And miracles work. The Bible promises each and every one of us that we can claim those miracles in any moment of any day. All we need to do is to know how. And the miracles we claim isn't to raise the dead or to change water to wine, but it's to gain peace of mind for even 5 minutes at a time. Can you imagine if you could gain peace of mind for the next 5 minutes? Wouldn't that be a miracle to you? That was my experience of miracles. I now know I can claim miracles for 3 minutes or for 8 hours. Getting 8 hours of peaceful sleep at night, that's a wonderful miracle. Getting an hour's peace of mind from driving the car with my family, that's a peace of mind miracle. Where I'm able to practice self-restraint, not react, not think it's all about me, not think I'm a victim, to be at peace. They're all miracles, minor miracles I can claim for myself. So understand, there is a spiritual solution to heal the hole in your soul. It's not the past trauma memory that's the problem. It's the energy attached to the past trauma memory. That's what's eating at your soul. But when we can break up that energy and get rid of it from our psyche, then the memories, like every other memory you have in your bank, you go back and look at your whole lifetime. We have numbers of events in our past that could be traumatic that we've just moved on from. And this past event, when you give the energy back to your younger self and the energy leaves your body, you're able to live your life as a normal, boring human being. You can do this. No one can do this for you. There's no therapy or medication or a doctor who can do this for you. This is about you changing your attitude, your outlook and your perspective with honesty, open-mindedness and willingness. Honesty that everything you've tried yourself hasn't worked, open to trying something different, and willing to take that step and do whatever that is. You can do this. No one else can do it for you, but we can all show either way. Myself and these other folks coming onto my podcast can show you different ways. And whichever one works for you, embrace it. Thank you.